Hey guys, so this video is going to be for the celebration of 100 subs. Oh my god, I'll be honest, it's been a while for me on YouTube, and the fact that I've hit 100 subs honestly has been just a blessing, and I am really shocked at this point. I just don't even know, to be honest. So, sorry about this. I've been meaning to do a video if I ever hit 100 subs, and I hit it, and I was like, okay, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do, and guess what? I couldn't figure it out, so it took a while. So, what I decided to do is have a created dungeon in Link's Awakening for the Switch, and just run through it. And this dungeon is going to be a bit insane, literally. I think I went a little bit overboard on this dungeon. It covers the entire map. I'll bring up the map several times as I'm going through it. Good night. It's quite a thing. With multiple bosses, even Dark Link shows up. It's ridiculous. First time I ran through this, it took me like 30 minutes to get through it because of how much insanity it was. I get through it a little bit faster on this round, but still. It's crazy. But yeah, I'll be honest, I have been so speechless that I've hit 100 subs. It's been so crazy. I don't even know how to put it into words other than thank you for all of you guys that have recently subbed, as well as people who have been with me since really early on. I started YouTube 7 years ago at this point. It's been a while. It's been a long while. Oh my gosh. I started this off as just kind of like a way to help with my social anxieties, and while it has helped, I still get anxious, overly anxious about things, but I'm much better than I was, and this has been a part of it. And when it started growing, especially with certain series, whether it's Fire Emblem, or especially since I completed since I had completed Final Fantasy Tactics A2, even when I was doing my Legend of Zelda live stream of Ocarina of Time, I gained a lot of subs with that, so that was last year. I'm planning on doing something similar with Majora's Mask this year during October. Since that game is so much shorter, it depends on how work goes for me, but I'm going to take at least one day out of the week and do a stream for that game, because it was a game that I had on my channel, and I was getting copyright strikes from Nintendo because whatever reason. So I took them all down, and lo and behold, after I took them all down, they announced the 3D remake of Majora's Mask. I was like, oh, that's what you were going after. So, yeah. That was annoying as all get out. So, I'm gonna be playing through it again and actually have, hopefully, the whole game on the channel and have it 100% in again. Well, I technically had 99%, and I thought I had 100%, but from what I remember, I forgot to get like an upgrade or two, so technically it was a 99%, not 100%, but I'm going to do a 100% run on the streams. Oh boy, that's going to be something else. But, yeah. I hope you guys will come and hang out for that. And I'm going to be playing it from my Wii U, so I'm going to have to get that hooked up to my capture card and all. So that's going to be a ton of fun. But yeah, I've had it's a lot of fun on YouTube. But I've also had my fair share of just wondering if I was ever going to continue it. But recently, I would say in the past couple years, it's just been... I've been trying to do stuff that I thought would be fun and challenging as far as going editing and whatnot. And while I've had my fair share of, like, looking back at it, it's like, I could have done a little bit better about editing on that, I would say overall I've gotten a lot better with my editing over the years. Really, like, a lot better. Oh gosh, don't ever go watch the first series I put up on YouTube. Just don't. That was horrendous. Speaking of which, because the first series I started, and then my computer crashed, so I lost all the data, so I couldn't continue it. The first series I started on this channel was Pokemon Silver, and I've been meaning to get back to it in a way, but in the sense of doing like the DS remake of it, so doing Soul Silver, and it's going to be something I'm planning on doing, probably starting, like, I would say after I'm done with Advance Wars. Because I do need to actually get back into doing it. I've been, like, trying to get through Fire Emblem and recording it, because when I actually realized there are 4 different stories on it, I'm like, oh gosh, really? So, me being the completionist type of person on storylines in Fire Emblem and all that, I've been putting a lot of time into trying to get it done. I didn't realize how many hours I would be putting into it. I finally got to the point where one of the storylines is good to pick up whenever I'm done with the Blue Lions, and I just pick it right up at the Golden Deer. I've gotten that ready, and I'm currently working on the Black Eagles. Oh boy, it's the thing. I think what I ended up deciding to do is I'm going to go through the Blue Lions, the Golden the Black Eagles, and the Golden Deer, their storylines, and then when it comes to the true storyline, as it were, of like truly saving the world, I'm going to do probably well, I'm either going to live stream it and do like a once a week live stream of it, and then do more focused of like the Advanced Wars missions, or I'm gonna just, because I'm planning on playing through it all over again, but on the hardest difficulty because of the new update they did with Fire Emblem, where they updated it to where you could do Massacre or something, whatever the new name of the difficulty is, I forget. No, it's Maddening. Maddening. That sounds like Lunatic on steroids, so that's gonna be fun. Oh boy. That's gonna be a thing. But yeah. So that's my plan on that. Hopefully everything will go well on that. So, yeah, essentially I'm trying to get through Fire Emblem, and I'm gonna get through Advance Wars. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about it. It's just I've been putting like 30 plus hours in a separate playthrough of Fire Emblem just so I could pick it up where it's left off. So yeah, that and work's been all crazy, so it's not been something I could really sink too much of my time into without it being ridiculous. But yeah, once I'm done with both of those, I'm looking at finally getting back to Final Fantasy and picking that back up as far as trying to tackle the final quest, since it was asked, hey, could you actually try finishing it? I'm gonna give it another shot. I just need to level up my people so much comparing it to the last one. So, however, like whatever time is like time difference, or I really don't know how to toss it, but like whatever series I'm doing, I'm gonna be kind of on the off time of actually recording, editing, or live streaming it, whichever game I'm playing or what part of Fire Emblem I'm in. I'm gonna look into what's the best places to do leveling in that game and just kind of run with it. And just increase everybody's levels to as high as I possibly can, and to where I can actually tackle it and not have a problem. So there is that I'm looking into. That's more than likely what those towers are for fighting the really tough monsters. It's to make sure your characters are good to go. And as far as like getting the AP to master all the different jobs and stuff, that's something else I need to get through and make sure everything's good to go on that. And it's a job. That's a back burner thing that I'm letting stay there for a little bit, but that's what I plan on doing. And while all that's going on, if I have both the Fire Emblem and Advance Wars done, I'm going to be starting Pokemon Soul Silver and Heart Gold. Now, I'm not going to be doing a complete playthrough of both of those. It's mainly where I'm kind of showing like a different cutscene as far as the games are concerned. There's like one for the most part. It's just the interaction between you and the legendary bird. And I think technically I could probably do it all on one file, on one game. But I would have, essentially, I would be able to go through most of the game on one of them and get the item for the other legendary bird and summon it. So I could go through it and do it that way. I probably will. That way I don't have to play two separate files, because doing that's a bit annoying, I'll be completely honest. So yeah, that's my plan for right now. And I don't know how long Pokemon's gonna go. I really don't. It's been a little bit since I've played Pokemon Leaf Green. It's been a little bit. Let me actually look, because I don't remember when I actually did do Pokemon Leaf Green. Let's take a look. 2017, so it's been a couple of years. Yeah, that's when the last video was uploaded, so I started it in 2016. Oh yeah, that was a while. Because that was a series that went on for 50 episodes. It was, for the most part, within 20 between usually around 25 minutes. There were some that were shorter. Heck, there's an episode that I have that's 11 minutes long. But as I got into the post game, I had it closer to 30 minutes for each, and then when I did the Elite Four, okay. Oh yeah, no, like I went and caught the legendary birds and everything. Or wait a minute. I'm feeling a bit silly at this point. What in the world? Oh no, okay. Yeah, I took on the Elite Four all in one episode. And then I did 5 post-game videos of doing like some of the island stuff. 3 of those episodes were that. 1 was actually finding Mewtwo and capturing him. And then the last one was challenging the Elite Four one last time because they got new Pokemon. But yeah. And I'm noticing that I'm looking at my playlist for Legend of Zelda titles. I have Ocarina of Time that I did 100% that I live streamed. Did that in 8 streams. Unfortunately, one of them has no commentary whatsoever because I totally forgot to turn on my mic. Gosh, I feel really bad about that. Then I did kind of like, I did Hyrule Warriors, but more in the sense of a parody thing because I was using the characters that weren't the actual heroes or villains of the game and using them to win each map. Then I did my Spirit Tracks playthrough, which I think I did a pretty decent job on it. I certainly could have had better times with it. Oh gosh. I still remember that feel that it had on all of the instrumental parts of it. Then the original Legend of Zelda playthrough that I did as a nostalgia run. 100%ing that, and I did a Minish Cap was the first Legend of Zelda game I played on the channel. That's crazy. What else want to do? And golly. It's crazy that Fire Emblem has been going on for as long as it has. But each one of these chapters have taken so long. I mean, the most recent one, Chapter 7, has taken so many episodes. Because, like, there's the initial part of you exploring the monastery, and then 3 of them that had a fight in it each, and they take a while. But it's crazy. What else? Yeah, I guess in a way I could do some better moments of keeping up with all the different man. Yeah, this is insane. Just looking through all the different possibilities of what to pick up. Because I know I was playing Dragon Quest and that dropped off because of just how it just pretty much of it going, like, leading into me starting Advance Wars and Kingdom Hearts coming out as well, so I was trying to juggle both of those, so I dropped the live streaming, which is sad. I feel like I should have at least tried to keep up with it, but to some extent I do miss actually live streaming. That's why I'm thinking about doing a live stream of Majora's Mask next month. And there's a point where I have several days off in a row, so I can actually plan for that. Yeah, it kind of depends. I'm trying to think of when I'll actually start that live stream. I'm thinking maybe the 4th, but that kind of depends on when I'm done with what I have planned that Friday. So I'm planning on the 4th to start, but I'm not holding my breath on it. If anything, I would say the 6th is when I'm going to start something. That Sunday. But that's going to be kind of a bit of a toss-up, as it were, because there's not a guarantee on that actually that's not going to be a guarantee on it at all. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what I'm planning on doing as far as just trying to keep up with all of this. I have a massive amount of stuff that I want to do, and I feel so bad that I have so many projects that I've started and I just haven't finished. Because out of like the first, and it's crazy, the first 2 LPs that I started, I stopped completely because of technical issues. So I'm looking at possibly starting them back up. One would definitely be live streamed, because there's no way I would be doing that in a normal, like, video format. And I would be starting from scratch, because there's no way I'm going to be able to pick up where I left off. So, in all honesty, I think when I start that series up again, I'm probably just, like, I'm not going to completely take down those videos. It's just I'm probably going to privatize it or unlist it. But as far as Pokemon Silver, that's going to be a Let's Play that's going to start up again at some point. But yeah. This has been... I'm not very good with doing like a vlog or whatever, so that's pretty much my extent on doing one. It's just because I know that it's kind of difficult for me to just keep on talking about just the most random things. So yeah, that's what I've got planned and what I have planned for this upcoming bit for the channel. I do plan on bringing series that within the next few years or so, depending on how things play out. That this channel hasn't seen, so I do plan on bringing back Pokemon Silver in the form of Soul Silver. I do plan on finishing the Advance Wars stuff as well, and finishing Final Fantasy Tactics A2. As far as new series, well, I updated the channel banner to kind of give you an idea on that. So there's at least 3 game series that has either had one game that's been a part of it, or this channel hasn't seen any of those games at all of the game series before, so I'm looking forward to possibly doing these games. And there's also going to be a returning series that's going to be done once I have kind of sorted everything out as far as getting everything done. Like, it's going to come after Pokemon Soul Silver, and it would be the only game I would be focusing on, because that's something I want to make sure is done correctly and done well, because it's a game series that I love and I want to make sure it gets the love that it truly does deserve. Because like this, I'm spending so much time on Fire Emblem, I'm not spending enough time on Advance Wars. So that's just been a thing. Anyway, thank you for listening to me rant for about a half hour. I hope you enjoy what's left of the dungeon. I can't remember how much is left, probably not that much. And I'll see you guys as we continue Fire Emblem. Thank you all for watching. See you guys in the next one. Later.